How you do, cousins? I'm Rusty. I am a full-time reseller. That means I find stuff at places like thrift stores, pawn shops, yard sales, estate sales, stuff like that. And then I resell it and try to make a buck or two so that I can put food on the table. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that's sold down here at the bargain warehouse where I work in the month of May. Let's take a look. How you do, cousins? Rusty here. Guys, we're just going to take a look at a bunch of listings today on eBay, this platform that we sell from here. Right over here, the Rusty Bargain Warehouse. We had this particular store up for a little over a year, and we done probably, I don't know, 600-700 sales on here. We got 311 responses, feedback, but we're not real great about leaving feedback ourselves because we've just got all kinds of other busy things we're doing here just to buy and resell. Probably should do a better job at that, but anyhow, I'm going to show you in the month of May some of the items that we have sold. We've had a fantastic month. We're probably going to end this month with gross sales somewhere between $11,000 and $12,000, which is awesome because you know, we will basically be on track to hit our goal as if we were in June. So we're going to be about a month ahead on our selling goal this year. Super excited about it. Let's go ahead and jump in here to the first item. The first item we sold, one of the items, I guess the first one we're going to talk about today, is this antique art deco sterling silver bracelet. You can see that this has got aquamarine gemstone in here, and then some other little probably garnets or some sort of cubic zirconia, something like that. It was not a diamond, but beautiful filigree. That's what they call whenever it's got these little, tiny little spaces, just kind of intricate design there. It was a beautiful little bracelet, and let's see if you can see the latch here. Yeah, the latch was really cool too. It's one of those, I can't remember, there's a name for it, obviously. They keep that chain on it to keep it from popping off, but this thing latches in there. Beautiful little piece, and I put Art Deco because that design here was popular during that time period. So really great little sale. I think I paid about $40 for that, so over doubled the sale in there. Found these at a Goodwill for basically a couple of bucks. Didn't realize until I got home that these were actually you know, the actual uniform shorts that they wear at Hooters, a restaurant establishment. And so $28, was happy with that. These were probably from about the mid-90s. This was an item I bought at one of those Amazon return stores where everything's $2. So this was a dry bag. It's waterproof. It's nice for you know, going camping, that sort of thing. $24, free shipping. So, you know, there are some things you can get at those stores if you're paying $2 or you're paying by the weight that you can sell for some decent money. But I've yet to sell anything over about $25 from the $2 I spent on any particular item. It's probably just the place I'm going to, but I think that in general that's the way it works. You're never going to sell you know, much more than that off of one item. Just to give you an idea, we're still selling these matchbooks, and we will still be selling them through the end of this year and ending next year, and maybe even beyond that, because we've got still quite a few left. This one here was $10. This is one of those anti-smoking or trying to get people to stop smoking, you know, advertisements here. Be proud to be different. Don't smoke. This is from the 1940s. So real happy with that little sale there. To date, we've probably sold somewhere in the range of 500 to 600, maybe 650 matchbooks out of that 30 to 40,000 a lot we bought. Probably done somewhere close to $4,500 of sales off of a $600 investment. So that is shaping up to be the find of the year at this point. Here's a pair of Nike KD, Kevin Durant, Nike shoes here. Paid about $30 for these, sold them for $50. So not a big turnaround, big sale there, but you know, I knew that these would sell. Took about 2 months. Next up, we got this another matchbook here. This was in a lot where I sorted out a bunch of both train and ship and airplane oriented. So basically modes of transportation themed matchbooks, and these have sold very well. I thought I might sell more ships than I have trains, but I've actually sold more trains than both airplanes and ships. So keep eye out for that if you see any of them. Here we got some photographs of essentially just a field. This is looking like basically late 1940s, maybe our early 1950s. Black and white photo of a tractor or some sort of farm equipment out in a field to harvest. $10. I think I paid roughly 50 cents a piece for these, so I was $1 in, sold it for 10, and shipping did not cost $8, so I actually made a little bit off of that also. Back to another one of these filigree, what I put as an Art Deco style, sterling silver bracelets again. This one had a sapphire in it right here. A couple of them actually, one big one here and then on either side some, and again, some sort of stone in the middle there. Yeah, very beautiful piece again, and you can see it says sterling there. It's got a Simmons patent. That Simmons is the name of that particular style of clasp, and it is one of the more intricate and interesting clasps that I've come across. I don't exactly know when that was when that came out, but my guess is sometimes in the around the 1920s to late 1930s. A gorgeous little piece. I think I paid right around $45 for this. Sold it for $145. Pretty happy about that. Okay, nice. We got this Woody. I bought this. I think I paid $2 for this at a Goodwill. Had a torn arm. Initially, I thought it was damaged, but then it turns out that was actually the way it's made. Because if you know the movie, he gets his arm torn at a certain point, and that's the way it's made to look. And so I was overjoyed to see the response here. 26 bids, friends. I don't know if this is the very first edition of this or if they're just hard to come by or what, but this is very long. It's 16 inches long. The pull string does work. He still talks. He says things like, there's a snake in the water hole, or there's a snake in my boot, or someone's poisoned the water hole, things like that, like from the movie. Pretty fun. Next up here, we got a bunch of these new G.I. Joes. These are not the 3.5 or 3 3 3/4 size. This is more like, I guess, a 6-inch, roughly, maybe not quite 6 inches size. This is number 1 through 4, and I don't know how many they've done so far, but they number them. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. I was pretty happy about this. I think I paid, roughly $14 a piece for each of these when they came out, right when they came out. So, I was around $40 to $50 in. Sold them for $80. Made $20, $25 in my pocket. I was pretty happy with that. On to the next one here, another matchbook. This was fun. This was New York University. And I don't know, judging by the size of the striker here, I'm guessing that this is pre-1950. This is going to be 1940s, maybe 1930s. Someone paid me $9 for that. I said it was. I think it had it up for maybe $12, but I accepted $9 on it. My shipping cost is about $3 on that. So $6. I'm happy. If I can be selling these things for $6 a piece, I got 30,000 of them, guys. If I could sell them for $6 a piece, that would be quite a payday. I won't. At the end of the day, they'll just be selling for cents a piece, but I'm in less than a penny, like fractions of pennies per piece. So over time, I've already made a really good amount of money off of them. Still selling these tennis rackets as well. I had 54 of them originally. Looking over here back at the warehouse, I've probably got 40 of them left, honestly. I'm going to sell some of them in lots here in a bit, but I'm still raking it in. I paid 40, or maybe I think it was $45 for 54, or something like that. It was less than $1 a piece. So when I'm selling these for $20-some a piece, it is great. I mean, I sold 2 of them, 2 to 3, and I made my money back, and now everything that sells here is just my cost of goods is already accounted for. It's very nice. This was a fun find. You never know what you can find at a Goodwill. I found this sword, like a legitimate sword, a metal sharp blade vintage sword at a Goodwill. $30 I paid. Sold it for $107.50, and it had 12 bids. Very happy with that response. You can see how it had a pretty intricate handle here. Pretty cool design. Somebody reached out to me and said, hey, this is they said it was Chinese or Japanese around World War II, around the 1940s. So I was glad to hear that. I didn't have that in the listing, but whoever bought it probably knew that, I'm sure. It was a beautiful little thing, and could have been in better condition. Probably would have sold for more if it was, but listen, 107 off of 30. That was a nice little sale there. Here's some of the Ghostbusters. I put this set together. I've got some other videos that kind of show my journey in putting these together. For the longest time, it took me quite a while to find Dr. Peter Venkman here at the end. Bill Murray's character, it just seemed to not pop up ever, and I was thinking I'd have to buy it online to complete the set, but then at the last minute I found it. It was nice. I'm about $12 in on $12 to $14 in on each of these. So let's just say I'm around $70 cost into these. Sold it for $100. So again, no, not it was fun to put it together. Do I always spend that kind of time on something like this in order to just put 20 bucks in my pocket? No, I don't. But I was already out. I was sourcing, and so I put these things together as they come. Here was a nice diamond and aquamarine ring. I found this at a pawn shop. I got a real good deal on it. I think I paid around $32 for it. Sold it for $100. Probably could have sold it for more if I'd waited longer, but I was really trying to push some stuff out, generate some sales. $100. So I still made my money. It was a beautiful little ring, very kind of light color aquamarine there, which is, it's nice. That's what most of them are like. Aquamarine, topaz, I like them both a lot. I love blue, but the prices on aquamarine are typically better than that of topaz, by quite a bit, actually. Here's a Dremel tool, the Dremel 200 series, with a few bits. What happened was I actually went to a Goodwill and found a model 600 or something, so a much better model, a model that operates off of battery power, where you and so it was nicer. It has more power, and you don't have to have a cord, so you can kind of move in other areas. Had a lot more bits. I bought that thing for maybe $8. And I had this one. I didn't need both. So what I do, I take the one I already had and had already used, and I threw it up for sale. So I got some use out of it. I sold it. Somebody got something for cheap, which was nice for them. In good condition. It works real well. And then I paid myself back for the cost of the other one. So now I basically have my tool that's better, and it was for free, and I even put a couple bucks in my pocket after I did it. Okay, so here's the Mickey Mantle. And if you went back and looked at the video where I sorting the second round, actually, of matchbooks that I bought, only someone like me would go buy 30,000 matchbooks and then, a month later, go buy 5,000 more. But hey, they were selling so well for me, I couldn't pass them up. This came in it, though. It was a Mickey Mantle's Holiday Inn from Joplin, Missouri. And I definitely spent some time in Joplin. In fact, either today or yesterday was maybe the 10-year anniversary of the tornado that ripped through that town and just really upset the town. Several people lost their lives, and it was just a horrendous event. And I'm so happy that town has they've bounced back. They've done a really good job. So sending good vibes out there to all those in Joplin, Missouri today. Hope you guys are well. Sold this thing for $20.50. That's a good sale on a matchbook. I thought when I first got it, I got excited, thought I might sell it for more. But then as you can see, upon further inspection, all of the match heads had been clipped off, actually. And so that definitely brought the value down. I could probably have sold this for between $100 and $150, no joke, if this thing had been entirely complete. Somebody had clipped these off because there was a time period when you couldn't ship these, or it was too expensive or dangerous to ship these with those match heads on, and even a lot of collectors didn't want them on there, so they clipped them off during a certain time period. And it's unfortunate now because you get a lot more money if they're complete. But that's all right. $20 was quite nice. Here's another one, the Tiki Kai. Man, any kind of anything really that you can find that's a tiki related item, mugs, any sort of paper goods, advertisements, postcards, and then of course matchbooks. Those things have a big collector base. $16.50 for that, and I was very pleased. I had a bunch of costume jewelry that I bought over time at a Goodwill. I sift through it. I pull out stuff that's made of silver or gold or have precious stones in them, or are designer signed costume pieces that I know can sell well individually. And then what I do is I package up the remainder and I sell that. And I typically even make my money back entirely off of what I spent on the whole lot. And then all the good stuff that I pull out, that's where I make my profit. But in this case, I had I had about 80 pounds of costume jewelry that's sitting here, and it sat and it sat. And I kept trying to sell it for 80 pounds at one to one person, and no one bit. So I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm just going to split it up into 4 different lots of 20 pounds each. I'll put 50 bucks on it, $24 shipping, which was my actual shipping cost, right around that. It was like I was off by maybe a couple dollars per. But $50, I put 4 of them up. And within 2 hours, all 4 of them sold. 3 sold to one person and 1 sold to someone else. So I got that $200 back in one evening. It just took me maybe 30 minutes to put those together. and I generated a sale for myself, and for that, I'm quite pleased. All right, back on to the next item. We got the Ariat or Ariat. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but it's boots, folks. That's all it is. You can tell by looking at it. Brown boots. And they were in real good condition, guys. I paid roughly, I think, $8 for these. I was hoping they'd sell for more, but again, I was impatient. I just wanted to get them moved out. Taking up space. They were quite large. 13B. It was size 13. I almost couldn't fit them in the container, the box that I usually ship shoes and boots in, because they were so large. But I was glad to get those moving along. Look for boots, guys. If you see good boots, particularly ones that may be made of, say, snake skin or crocodile or alligator or things like that, even ostrich, you'll see those as well. That's the stuff when it's leather and it has those little bumps all over it. That's ostrich. And so those ones made of the skins or hides of varmints and other creatures, those can sell real well, so keep a lookout for that. Okay, Callaway Golf. This is a 9 wood, which is not super common. But I got these. I sold this and one other that I bought on the same day at a Goodwill. Paid $2. Well, no, $3 a piece for each of them. So I had $6 in on the two. Sold one, this one, for $58. The grip was in pristine condition. That's probably why it sold pretty well. You can still sell these for good money, even if the grip is crumbling off, honestly, because people will put new grips on them. But it certainly helps to sell them quicker and for more money if it's in better condition. And that's true of just about anything you might sell. So this was one I had for quite a while. I thought I actually had it out. I played with it some. It made me think of my days when I was younger. But I just couldn't pass up the deal here. 30 games of original NES Nintendo system with Game Genie, with the blaster gun there, and 30 different games, $475. If you are seeing this right now and you're like, what? Nintendo? Who cares about Nintendo? If you have Nintendo games, if you have Game Genie, if you have one of those guns, if you have the original system and it works, guys, and you're not using it, it's just in a closet or in the attic or something, get that sucker out, dust it off, test it, make sure it works, and then make some money on it, because people are loving these retro games, these vintage stuff. It's definitely a hot market right now for the retro, vintage, collectibles, and games. And that includes PC games. If you come across something that's like on a disc or something, it's for a PC, a computer game, those things are selling like hotcakes. So trust me, get out there and look for them. All right, here was some giant, I said giant, it was a large lot of different baseball cards came out this year, 2021. I got a lot of hateful, I mean just an incredible amount of hateful comments which I have hidden from you so you don't have to bother looking at them, but about the fact that I buy and sell cards. This came out right when it was announced that Target and Walmart was going to not be selling these again, and I just got lambasted by people saying, you're the reason that this is happening, and no one cares about these cards. And I was thinking, well, am I a bad guy for selling them, or are my cards worthless, in which case you shouldn't care? But anyways, there wasn't a whole lot of logic throughout the theme of their comments, but one thing that they were positive about was that I'd never sell these. Well, guys, there's a lot of negativity out there in the world, cousins, and don't listen to it. Do your research and then do what you need to do with your business, and that's what I've done here. I bought these cards. I probably was about $110 in on this whole lot. I sold them for $200. It took me roughly 3 weeks to sell them. And this is how I make a living, folks. I'm not hurting anybody. I go into the store if they have cards. If I look them up and they're going to make me some money, like any other item I look at any other store, then I might buy it. And I'm paying the price that establishments put on it. I don't ask for a discount. It's Walmart, folks. Okay, Walmart's not hurting for their money. So I go out, I buy them, and listen, you don't have to like it, and you're certainly entitled to your opinion. But I was happy to sell these. It's going to be harder and harder for me to find them, and I probably won't be able to do that anymore because I'm not going to go sourcing for this kind of thing online. I go out and look. I'm happy. There's lots of other stuff that I buy and sell. Here's one example that can do quite nicely, and that's vintage instruments. This was a beautiful, pristine, probably best condition, pre-1950 Gibson or Martin that I've ever owned. and it was just absolutely nice. There were no cracks on it anywhere. The bridge was not raising up. We had no bubble issues or raising of the pick guard. The action was low. The frets were in great condition. Have never been refretted. It had a neck reset before I owned it, so the action was fantastic. And guys, this is just a beautiful instrument. I would love to kept it, but again, this is what I do to make a living. And so someday when I retire, if I can have a little bit of spending money for giggles, maybe I'll go get another vintage instrument like this for myself. But in the meantime, it's so fun to just flat pick around the warehouse here. Sometimes the guys will get out there. Peaches has a couple particular dances he likes to do whenever I'm playing around. He'll pick up the tambourine or the nose flute or something. But anyhow, guys, $3,400. I spent about, right around $2,900 on this when I bought it initially. So I didn't bring in, after fees and all that stuff, maybe $100, $200. So I did make some money, but this was also just about getting the experience playing on one of these instruments, which I don't get to do all that often, and it was just exquisite. Here's one that sold. I had been collecting these over time when I could find them under value, even the spot value of the gold. A lot of times I'd snatch them up. And we're talking about just regular wedding bands of 14, but this is actually all of these were 18 karat, except for one was 14 karat gold. If I could buy them for less than $200, I would take a look at it. And if I could get them even less than that, I was going for it. So I sold these for $2,000. I didn't make a whole lot of money, maybe $150 total in profit off of this. But it's kind of nice to have some of that gold as well as an investment. It's one of those things you can hold on to and wait till the price goes quite a bit ways up, but you never know how long you're going to wait. I get it in, and when I make a big lot like this, sometimes I'll do it because it's nice to sort of spark a large sale and get some of that cash back in-house, which I can use then on maybe the next big deal. All right, folks, the last few here, we got a Nike Air Jordan 1 Obsidian. This is a white and dark navy blue with a little bit of a gold flicker there where the Jordan emblem is on the tongue. Beautiful pair of shoes. I paid about $120 for these when they came out. I've had them for less than a year, maybe 9 months. Just sold them for $300, folks. And yes, I had to pay about $14 in shipping there. I sent it off to whoever eBay uses to authenticate these shoes. But I never worry about these authentications because when I buy Nike shoes anymore, I either buy them directly from a retailer like Foot Locker, something like that, or I buy them directly from Nike online. And so I'm never worried about having a pair of shoes that's not authentic, but I like that they do that service. And if you're willing to offer that, to have them authenticated before people get them, then you open yourself up to a much better group of people who are going to buy these. No one's going to try to scam you. This also helps me that I'm not going to get scammed by somebody who gets it and then says, hey, these aren't authentic, and then wants a return, and then they send me back a 10-year-old pair of shoes that have been worn, the sole's been worn through. Yes, that has happened to me. People have attempted to scam me. So the fact that I get to send this to eBay and then they say, these are authentic, and then they send them on, I don't have to worry about that person saying these are not authentic because eBay associates or affiliates or whoever they contract to do that work have already given the thumbs up on it. Here's an antique pocket watch, and you know what? I don't even know 100% if this is a pocket watch keychain or not, but it's something like that. It's an old chain. It's made of copper, or I think it's actually made of brass, is what that looks like. I don't know who the maker is. There are no maker marks on it. There's nothing to indicate what the actual metal is, and but it was just cool, and I got it in a lot of several other things, so it's probably maybe less than $1 in on this. And sold for $20. Guys, don't miss out on chains that are designed for pocket watches and things like that, because a lot of times they're either gold filled or they may be 14 karat gold or 10 karat gold. And even if not, even if they aren't made of a precious metal, people collect those specifically for what they are, and then also people who want them to go with vintage pocket watches. When say they have a pocket watch that is missing the chain or the chain broke or something, they're looking for this stuff. Here was one of these channel lock pliers, a pair of pliers that I got at a local pawn shop that has these quite often. I never pay more than $2 for these, and the more I buy in a lot, the better a deal I get on these individually. These probably cost me between $1.75 and $2. Sold it for $10.50. Nothing huge here, guys. I just need you to see I'm not selling big ticket items all the time. Sometimes I'm selling stuff for $2.99. This particular thing, yeah, $2.99, that's not much money, but I probably spent 10 cents on this. So then if you look at the margin there, my cost margin to my sale margin, it's quite nice. Now, obviously, I can't be doing $11,000 or $12,000 a month if I'm selling stuff like this all the time, because I'm just one person, you know. And even though I got help, a lot of help from people like Peaches and a bunch of people at the warehouse, we couldn't earn a living if we're just selling stuff for $2.99. But again, if I see little stuff that I know can sell fast, this sold within 3 days, then why not? It's not that hard. I've got other stuff to ship out, so I do it. And then last up here today, guys, is just another one of these. I only put this up. I've shown this before. I've sold these before. I was about $12 in on this lot, sold them for $18.50, and it actually cost me only around $7 to ship instead of $10. So I actually made an extra $3 off shipping there accidentally. But I sold this pair. This is the 10th pair I've sold. I think I had 20 at least, maybe 22 of these, and I've sold every one of them. This is, it took me 2 months to do it, but within 2 months, I sold the entire lot that I bought. Bought these at a Ross. And so it was nice that somebody, you know, I guess there's a lot of people out there that collect these or want these. There's a surprise inside. Those little toys that have surprises and you don't know what they are. Kiddos love those things, and maybe adults too. I'm not quite sure. But anyhow, guys, these are the types of things that we sold this month. Not exactly sure the exact number of items that sold this month, but it's somewhere in between 100 and 150 items. Very happy with that. It's pointing to a good June. So anyhow, maybe this gave you a few ideas of things you might want to buy out there or look for. Keep an eye out, guys. If you ever have questions and stuff, feel free to ask. I'd love to talk with you about it. I might not know the answer, but I'd certainly love to chat it up with you. And if you have advice from me, you know, try to be as kind as possible. But, you know, keep those hateful comments to yourself. But if you want to engage, we would love to do that, cousins. So I hope everyone has a great day, and I hope I wish you good luck on your reselling adventures. Take care. Thank you, cousins, for watching this video. If you haven't had a chance yet, go subscribe, click that like button, maybe leave us a comment. We're awful appreciative of everything you've been bringing to the table lately. Take care, friends. See you soon. Rusty hair.